we had, after I was married and the children were small, and we listened to the programs then.
When you were younger, do you remember receiving telegrams, or did you ever get telegrams?
No.
No.
No, we never got a telegram that I ever remember. Just sent that first one to Kit about the new baby, but no, I don't remember anything about telegrams. We used to, when my children were growing up, listening to the radio program, television programs. There was one there, Major Bose, and he would have a talent show, and people would come on, and children, they would recite or sing. So during winter times, we would play our own Major Bose. One of my children would be Major, and the other children would come in and perform. And my dear Ed, who was the youngest of us all, was in the first grade. Another story that lingers. And he was learning poetry and big words, and one of his performances was to recite. So he started out with little boy
Christopher Robin.
Yes, Christopher Robin, thank you, Reeve. And it starts out by Little Boy Christopher Robin by A. Mill Anonymous. And everybody started to laugh at him. And, oh, you made me laugh. Now I have to start all over again. Little boy kneels at the foot of his bed by A. Mill Anonymous. We had to finally pull him off. He lost the prize. He was not the winner that day at all. They still tease him about A. Mill Anonymous. But it was fun. We did have...
Further back.
To what?
To your memories, not our generation, but your generation.
Well, we just listened, amazed at what we were hearing from people that are not in front of us or talking to us, or we could even see them. It was just utterly amazing. It still is to me. I never could even take a Kodak picture. That amazed me. Just a little click and you got a picture. Wow. Whew.
Were there many people in Catonsville? Did a lot of people own TVs, or early on?
Many people in Catonsville.
Do you just know, we'll skip that one, sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's fine, I don't know where I was going with that question anyway.
Do you remember when you first saw a TV?
When I
Well,
first...
the TV came in my generation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and her generation.
I know you said you shopped in town. Is that where you bought all of your clothes and the furniture, or did you make?
Yes, we bought. Mother made most of our clothes, particularly the dresses. fact, one of my sisters was sent to town. Mother was making slips for the girls, and she sent her to town down Baltimore to buy 40 yards of material. And my sister, she was the shortest of us all. She was only about 5 feet, one or two, and she went downtown and ordered up the 40 yards of material, and the lady measured out 4 and started to cut it. And she said, no, I want 40 yards. And then the sales lady looked at her and she said, little girl, how much money did your mother give you? She said, she gave me enough money to buy 40 yards. So she got her 40 yards. But of course the suits were bought downtown, the boys. The shoes we bought on the store at the corner, Mr. Friend's shoes. He sold socks too. And then later on, Mr. Simino, a Jewish man, opened up a store on Frederick Road where he sold ladies' clothes, lingerie, and we bought from him. So I never went downtown to buy any clothes for me, but I did take my children down. I don't know whether we must have ridden down into the car.
Streetcars.
Yeah.
What about your wedding dress? That the time of your wedding was the Depression. What did you do?
I bought material, and my sister Louise, who had a natural talent for sewing, made me a wedding dress, long, with full sleeves and a lace top. Was beautiful. I even had a veil with, I don't know what kind of trim I had on my head, but I did have a veil over and down. But we were too poor to have a photographer, so I never had a picture taken of me in my wedding dress. Later on, when my younger sister was married, she wore my dress, and she had pictures taken. Sometimes I thought I would knock her head off of the picture and have one of mine stuck on there, but I never did that. But
They can do that easy.
they can do that. In fact, I've got a picture right here of one of my family that one of the ladies at church, there were only 8 of us, 7 of us on the picture, and she asked for a picture of Jane to put on, and she did put it on the pictures, but I never did that.
When you were growing up, do you remember walking to school, or
I always walked to school.
what was it like going to school?
Just walked with my sisters or brothers.
Where was the school?
School was right on Frederick Road, and we were just around the corner, 5 minutes away. So I walked, and the school was there on Frederick Road, was from the 1st to the 12th grade.
Wow.
We had no cafeteria, and we had no gym room like they have now. The seniors were allowed to go in the front door. The juniors went on both sides where they had doors, and the grade schools had to climb all the way up the back steps to get to their rooms.
Is it where the elementary school
Yeah.
is now?
Yeah.
It's the elementary school now. Yeah, it was in, I was the first class to go through all 4 years of the new school that was built on Bloomsbury Avenue that is now some kind of a recreational
Bloomsbury Center. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh.
I never did go to the new school that's down on Bloomsbury and Rolling.
right.
That was, my class was the first year to start there.
Did you?
Yes.
Well, I never went there at all. I did go to when they were celebrating Catonsville. And I wanted to get up and sing to them. Back in 1918, when the town was growing, the suburbs were growing, Catonsville was the only school around. And the children come to Catonsville from all the regions round. In the autobus and bicycle to this school they are bound. They come on foot in carriages and on the trolley car. And those who rise at 5 o'clock, they think it's pretty far. It's a long way to Catonsville from far Howard Park. We leave before sunrise and get home after dark. It's a long way from really many other towns also. It's 5 cents extra car fare, but it's the best school I know. And I wanted to get up and sing that song on the stage, but I never did. They should have known it. Okay.
Where were you and your family?
I
It
was
was
the-
11 of you?
I was the next to the last of 11. So I really don't remember too much about my older brother and sister. They were grown and gone.
By the time you were born.
Yeah. Yeah, by the time I had sense enough to remember anything.
Well, you've got quite a memory now.
Well, thanks to the Lord, I do have a good memory, and I use it.
Very good.
I use it for my own, and I use it sometimes for others too. But I enjoy my own memories. And, you know, I'm having to start to make new ones right now at my age, going through things that I have never anticipated or thought I would have to do. But the Lord is good. He's brought me through many, many, many situations, and He's on his way to bringing me in through another one. I think it will be the last one I ever have to make a big decision. And I'm all set for it. The Lord's guiding.
How are you doing? Are you okay for more questions, or do you want to finish?
I'm sorry.
Are you doing okay for more questions?
Am I doing okay? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Tell us about the pig farm, your pigs your dad had.
That was on Bloomsbury Avenue. It's what's there now, Rebecca? There's a lot of buildings there now.
Well, it
There-
has a beauty salon in it, I think, and
There was a restaurant there for a while.
yeah, but
Our
back to when you lived there.
our yard ran back to the lumber yard, Wilson's lumber yard, which is opened up on, has its front on Frederick Road, which is where, what's there now?
Bill's Music
Bill's
House.
Music.
Bill's Music House.
Yeah, well, Bill's Music House originally was on the corner where Fred's shoe store was. And he moved up. Yeah, he did.
Okay, well, talk about
So,
your yard.
so our yard ran all the way back to the Miller Avenue almost. And we had a pump there in the yard. That's where we got our water. A grapevine over it. I remember my father tying a brown bag over the choice bunches of grapes to keep the bees away from them, so they would be ripe if my brother happened to come home from Fort Meade at the time. We had the outhouse there. We had, my father loved flowers, and he had his hotbeds, as he called them. He would dig a space and lay glass frames over them and plant his seeds early in there, and they would sprout, and then he would, a nice warm day would come, he'd just put a rock under him to lift it up just a little bit to let the fresh air and the sunlight in, and he raised all the vegetables, tomatoes, corn, lima beans. Mother canned a lot of those on the old wood or coal stove. How she ever did it, I don't know. We had hundreds of jars of fruits and vegetables. We did buy the fruits, but Father raised all of the vegetables that Mother canned. But he would buy crates of strawberries or peaches, and I remember helping to peel or stem the strawberries to cook for preserves, can the peaches, go down in the wintertime and bring up a half-gallon, put them in half-gallon jars. Now they put them in little half pints. I see these little half pints of applesauce, and they're funny. As far as I'm concerned, I'm used to a half-gallon. But anyhow.
You had a pig farm?
Sorry?
You had a pig farm? And
The hogs and the butchering, what about that?
Oh, my dear. Father used to hire a couple of men in the neighborhood to help him butcher. And it was generally around Thanksgiving when the weather was cold. And they built a kind of trestle, and or form of some kind. and they hung the hogs up one at a time. And butchered, we were not allowed to watch. All the curtains in the house were pulled down, so we kids couldn't see what was going on because they were killing the hogs. Then they would cut them up. We had on the grounds there was a 3-compartment shed. And the first one kept the coal and the wood, and in the middle one was very clean, and that's where they hung some of the meat to freeze. And then the other one was the paint shop, where my father had a little stove in there where he would blend his paints, mix them and stir. You didn't buy the colors. He had to blend them in, and he'd sit there and stir for an hour to be sure that all the oil in them was thoroughly mixed with the color. And the sides of meat were hung in the middle shop. And that was our outdoor refrigerator. We would get the big pieces of hams, or the hams of the shoulders were the only ones there. They cut up and Mother made the ground, wasn't beef, of course, ground pork, sausage. That's what word I was looking for. She made the sausage, made them into cakes. She made scrapple. Oh, the scrapple was so good. She made liver pudding and what they call souse. That was a kind of frozen, solid stuff. I don't know what it was made of, but I never cared for souse much. But the other stuff was all good. The scrapple was so good, the taste lingered so long that one of my brothers decided he would try to make chicken scrapple, because we no longer raised hogs. We were married and had our own families. So he decided we should experiment with chicken or turkey scrapple, which we did, and turned out real good. And every once in a while, I've been trying to teach Nancy how to make chicken scrapple. It's a slow process, and to get it just thick is quite a task. To make it stiff enough, you have to smooth the cornmeal in. That's something that we had learned. So I guess that's...
Do you remember attending any community activities or clubs in Catonsville?
When I was growing up, yeah, I was about 10 or 12. It was after the war. There was a group that came from the county, the Public Athletic League, and they held daily sessions down at the old country club. That was where the first Bloomsbury Avenue School is now, but it was the old country club. The building was still there, and so they sent out 2 ladies to teach us songs, dances, games, and we played games. We had exhibitions at the end of the summer because they were scattered in different areas of the county. And we would meet at Patterson Park at the end of the season and join together and put on an exhibition. I remember the exhibition at one time was Briar Rosebud, which is a song about a child who fell asleep for 100 years, and the thorny hedges closed her in, and a charming prince comes and wakes her up. Well, the Catonsville group was the Thorny Hedges at Patterson Park. We all met and we locked our arms around, and we were the thorny hedges that closed the princess in. And one day there came a charming prince and cut the thorny hedges down, and he'd go all around and our arms would fall down. But one time she taught us the Spanish mazurka. Why I remember all this name and stuff, I don't know. But it was a Spanish mazurka. And you clapped in your hands, and tap, 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 hook, dance, and face to face and back to back and face to face, and tap, tap, 1, 2, 3. Well, about 20 or 30 years later, the children were studying about Spain in school, and I said, "Oh, I'll teach you the Spanish mazurka." So I started to teach them, and we ended up falling in a heap on the sofa laughing like crazy. One of their friends stopped in a day or so later, and he said he was going by the house. The windows were open, the curtains were up. He said, "What were you doing last night teaching the Spanish mazurka to your children?" But that was fun. That lasted for a couple of years. The members of the and why I remember their song, I don't know, but I do. Members of the PAL will raise our colors high. Let us dumbbell bar and basketball, we will our valor try. Then we will fight with all our might, and victors we will be. We'll raise our bonny colors high for all the world to see. So we go marching, the PAL. Lift high our colors and raise our yell. We could never know defeat, and we never shall retreat. Hail to our colors, the PAL, Public Athletic League. But what their colors were, I don't know. I don't know what their colors were, but I remember the crazy song. So,
Talk to us about the B&O Railroad. Did you remember a fair or the choir or any of those kind of things?
I remember going to the B&O exhibition at relay. I don't remember what year it was.
How old were you? 16 or so?
I'm trying to think. I don't know.